Most restaurant owners look at their ads and ask one question: how much revenue did this generate? And that seems reasonable, but revenue on its own doesn't tell you whether your restaurant is actually growing. Because what really matters isn't just how much money came in, it's how many new customers came through the door. And that's the number most people aren't tracking properly. This is something that I have seen over and over again. And if we haven't met, I'm Rydell, founder of Serve Marketing. We work exclusively with hospitality businesses, and over the past few years, we've helped more than 100 restaurants build structured acquisition systems, not just campaigns that spike revenue for a week. And one pattern that keeps repeating is that restaurants that focus only on immediate revenue tend to plateau, and that restaurants that track customers and optimize for first-time customers tend to grow. And sometimes it's even more subtle than that. I've seen restaurants say, sales haven't grown, we're still sitting at around 50K a month. But when you look deeper, the ads have been consistently bringing in new bookings and new customers. What they don't realize is this: without that acquisition engine running, they might not be sitting at 50K, they might be sitting at 30 or 40K. Revenue on its own doesn't tell the full story. So in this video, I'm gonna show you why that shift matters and how it changes the way you evaluate your ads completely. Let's talk about the first part, which is first-time customer. I want to define this properly. See, a first-time customer isn't just a booking. It's someone who has never spent money with you before. Someone who discovered your restaurant through marketing, came in and tried you for the first time. Now, that distinction matters more than most people realize, because revenue doesn't tell you whether that money came from the same regulars or brand new customers. And here's the part where it actually gets interesting. See, most ad platforms don't separate that for you. And most marketing agencies don't have the infrastructure to track it either. They'll show you cost per resolve, revenue, likes, reach, maybe ROAS, but they won't show you how many of those bookings were actually new customers. We built our system to separate that, because if you don't know whether you're acquiring new customers, you can't tell if your marketing is actually expanding your restaurant or just maintaining it. And there's a huge difference. The next part is that revenue hides progress. This is kind of subtle, and I want to talk about it. I've seen restaurants say, we're still doing 50K a month, sales haven't really grown. But when we look deeper at the numbers, something else is happening. The ads are consistently bringing in new customers, new bookings, new faces, new people trying the restaurant. Now, the part that most people don't calculate is that if those new customers weren't coming in, what would revenue look like? Restaurants naturally lose customers every month. You know, people move, preferences change, habits shift, competition increases. There's always a natural drop-off. So sometimes marketing isn't just about pushing the revenue up. Sometimes it's about replacing the customers you would have lost. So if 80 new customers came in this month, but 70 older customers stopped coming, your revenue might look flat, but your marketing prevented that decline. And prevented decline is progress. Revenue doesn't show you that. First-time customer volume does. That's why revenue alone can hide what's actually happening underneath. Now, the next section is compounding. I want to make this practical. Say your ads generate 70 first-time customers this month. Now let's assume something realistic. 40% of them return at least once over the next 60 to 90 days. That's 28 repeat visits. If the average table is $100, that's $2,800 in repeat revenue. Now the key is that you didn't pay ads again for those 28 visits. That was unlocked by the first acquisition. You can now multiply that by 3 months, and if you consistently add 70 new customers per month, month 1 you have 70, month 2 70, month 3 another 70 on top of that. That's 210 new customers in the system, and if 40% of those cohort returns at least once, you now have 84 repeat visits cycling through. And that's before accounting for second returns, third returns, group bookings, event bookings. It's just compound. Not because one viral campaign, but because you consistently added new people into your ecosystem sustainably. And this is why first-time customers matter more than immediate revenue. The revenue can kind of show you today, but first-time customer volume will show you the trajectory of where you're trying to head to, essentially. The next thing is database leverage and a walkthrough. Once someone books through your system, they're not just a transaction. They're now a contact. You have their email, you have their phone number, you can reach them again without paying Facebook or Google another $1. That's leverage, because now marketing isn't just about getting the first booking. It's about what happens happens after it. So you can send newsletters, you can promote slow weekdays, you can launch seasonal menus, you can reactivate people who haven't visited in a while. Without that infrastructure, every campaign will start from zero. And with it, every campaign builds momentum. So now I want to show you what this actually looked like for one of our clients, Cream House. Over roughly 5 months, the campaigns generated 439 confirmed bookings. See, that translated into 1,911 diners. Out of those, 1,283 were first-time customers. That means nearly 2/3 of the seats filled were brand new people discovering the restaurant. So I'm gonna run a conservative math. If only 30% of those first-time diners return once, that's 384 repeat visits. At an average of $100, that's $38,400 in repeat revenue unlocked. That's before the second visit, events, referrals, or group bookings. Revenue alone doesn't show that, but customer acquisition does. That's the big difference. So this is the real shift here. If you only judge your ads by monthly revenue, you're going to misread what's actually happening. You'll feel like nothing is moving when it actually is. And because revenue doesn't show you how many new people you brought in, how many of them are likely to return, how much decline you quietly prevented, when you start looking at first-time customers, instead of just top-line revenue, the conversation changes. You stop asking, did this spike? And you start asking, did we expand the customer database? And that's a completely different mindset. And that mindset is exactly what separates restaurants that stay stuck from the ones that actually grow steadily. If this way of looking at ads feel different from how you've been measuring them, that's intentional. We've put together a full guide that walks through behind the structure, about the whole thing, not tactics, not random tips, the actual framework behind working out what you can afford to pay for a booking, building offers that convert properly, tracking performance correctly, and turning new customers into repeat revenue. And it's completely free. You can download it via the link below. You can go through it properly, and even if you never work with us, it'll change how you look at your numbers. And if you'd rather not piece it together yourself, you can reach out through servemarketing.com.au. We'll look at your setup, show you what this would look like if it was applied to your restaurant. If you like this video and you want to learn more, please subscribe, comment down below what you're struggling with, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.